So many of you are involved in clubs and leading clubs out there, but of course, one of the unique things about campus clubs is that that you can only lead it while you're a student, and at some point you're going to graduate, you're going to go find a job, and you're going to be leaving the campus. Every organization spends a lot of time thinking about that transition. What happens when I leave? Well, how do I facilitate the existence of this club into the future? What is my legacy once I leave the campus, once I graduate? And it's really important to start thinking about this early. Is there somebody else? Is there other club members who could take over when I leave? We've seen over the years many clubs that were run by exceptional leaders and were incredibly active and did phenomenally, and really brought Ayn Rand's ideas to a whole campus population. And then the club leader graduated and everything went from fantastic to zero to nothing. We've seen other clubs that have run at a very high, incredibly successful level for decades, for 25, 30 years. And that's because they institutionalized this idea of a transition, of always making sure that there was somebody else ready to take over. And of course, I think that club leaders looking back, who 20 years later look back and see that their club is still running, the satisfaction is immense that you didn't just create something that existed there for the 2, 3, 4 years that you were in school, but that actually exists beyond you. So I encourage you to think about that, to look at the people that you have in the club right now. Think about who would be good at this. Encourage them to start being involved while you're still leading the club. Appoint a deputy or however you want to call it. Get them to organize some of the events. Get them to lead some of the meetings while you're still around. Help train them so that when you leave, the club continues and it continues with leadership that you're excited about. So I encourage people to really think about that. I know when you're 20, 21, 22, it's hard to think about legacy, but it's I think it's very satisfying when you leave to know that something you started continues. So good luck. It's a real challenge, but it's fun.